In the small secluded town of Cândido, Godói, nestled deep in the heart of Brazil, there lies a dilapidated house that the locals whisper about but rarely approach. Surrounded by dense vegetation and shrouded in an almost palpable fog, the house stands as a ghostly silhouette against the twilight sky. Those who pass by can feel a chill creeping up their spines, as if the very air around the house is thick with unspoken fears. The legend of this haunted house dates back to the 1960s when the Pereira family moved into the estate. At first, they seemed like a typical family, eager to settle down in their new home. But as the days turned into weeks, strange occurrences began to unfold. Unexplained sounds echoed through the halls at night. Soft whispers, the sound of footsteps, and the occasional chilling laugh that sent shivers down their spines, like someone trying to jump scare them from behind a door. Maria, the youngest daughter, was especially sensitive to the house's eerie atmosphere. She often spoke of an unseen friend, a girl who played with her in the garden. Her parents dismissed her imaginary friend as a product of childhood fantasy. "Don't worry, sweetie. It's probably just your imagination." They'd chuckle, unaware that the real scare was still coming. However, Maria's vivid descriptions of the girl began to worry them. "She wears a white dress and has a long black hair," Maria would say with an innocent smile, "and she's always sad." As time passed, the family began to suffer from nightmares and unexplained illnesses. The mother, desperate to understand what was happening, sought the advice of the town's elder, a woman known for her connection to the spiritual world. The elder listened carefully to Maria's tales and, with a grave expression, warned the family.
"You must leave this place,"
she said.
"It is cursed. The spirit of a girl who died here seeks to take another child."
Ignoring the elder's warning, the family chose to stay. After all, they figured a little ghost couldn't hurt them, right? That decision would cost them dearly. One fateful night, as a storm raged outside, the family heard a blood-curdling scream emanating from Maria's room. They rushed to find the girl sitting upright in her bed, eyes wide with terror. "She's coming for me," Maria screamed, pointing to the corner of the room where shadows danced ominously. "Of course she is. We should have left last week," her father joked nervously, trying to lighten the mood. But his humor was lost in the chilling atmosphere. Panic set in as they fled the room, but when they returned, Maria had vanished. In the days that followed, frantic searches yielded nothing, and the family was eventually forced to abandon the house. Left behind, the house fell into further disrepair, its windows boarded up and its doors locked tight, as if trying to keep the horrors inside. Years went by, but the legend of the haunted house only grew. Locals began to share stories of shadowy figures seen moving through the broken windows and eerie laughter echoing through the trees at night. Those brave enough to approach the house at dusk spoke of a strange mist enveloping the property and of a girl in a white dress who beckoned them to come closer. "Is it just me, or does she look like she's trying to sell cookies?" a daring teenager joked one evening, only to be met with uneasy silence from the group. One evening, a group of adventurous teens, eager to uncover the truth, decided to explore the infamous house. Armed with flashlights and a sense of bravado, mixed with a healthy dose of teenage recklessness, they made their way to the front door. As they stepped inside, the air grew cold, and a heavy silence enveloped them. The smell of decay lingered, mixed with something sweet yet unsettling, like a grandma's cookies gone horribly wrong. As they moved from room to room, their flashlights flickered, and the temperature dropped even further. "Is it just me, or do we all feel like we just entered a horror movie?" whispered Sophia, her voice barely above a breath. In the main hall, they found Maria's old toys scattered across the floor, untouched by time yet covered in dust. It was as if she had left them behind in a hurry, desperate to escape whatever had haunted her. Suddenly, Carlos, one of the teens, heard a faint whisper.
Help me. Please.
His heart raced. "Did you guys hear that?" he asked, turning to his friends who were too busy filming their brave adventure to pay attention. Ignoring the sound, Carlos pressed on, compelled by the haunting plea. As he stepped deeper into the shadows, he felt a tug at his sleeve. He turned, and there she was, the girl in the white dress, her eyes filled with sorrow.
Why did you come here?
She asked, her voice soft yet piercing.
You shouldn't be here. It's not safe.
Before Carlos could respond, the other teens joined him, drawn in by the girl's presence. "Who are you?" one of them asked, a tremor in her voice.
I am Maria.
She whispered, glancing at the ground.
I'm trapped here. You must help me find peace.
Wow, the ghost is asking for help. How original, one of the boys quipped nervously, but his bravado fell flat in the presence of Maria's sadness. The teens exchanged glances, realizing they were no longer in control of the situation. A sudden rush of wind swept through the room, extinguishing their flashlights and plunging them into darkness. The walls seemed to close in, and they heard the laughter of unseen children echoing around them, growing louder and more sinister. "Okay, now I definitely feel like I'm in a horror movie," someone exclaimed.
Leave now.
Maria's voice rose above the chaos, filled with urgency.
You mustn't stay. It wants you.
Panic set in as the teens fumbled for the door, but the house itself seemed to shift, walls twisting to keep them inside. Just as despair began to settle in, the door swung open, as if the house was granting them a fleeting chance at escape. They bolted out into the night, gasping for breath, the chilling laughter of the spirits still ringing in their ears. Once outside, they looked back at the house, which now stood silent and foreboding, as if nothing had happened. "What was that?" Carlos panted, glancing at his friends. "Did we just see a ghost?" They nodded, fear etched on their faces. "I thought it was just a prank," said one girl, her voice trembling. The legend of Maria and the haunted house of Cândido Godói would continue, but now they knew the truth. It was a warning, a haunting reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. The group dispersed, forever marked by their encounter, and as they walked away, they heard a soft whisper behind them.
Thank you.
And as the moon hung low in the sky, casting a ghostly light on the old house, the whispers of lost souls echoed in the night, forever seeking freedom, forever guiding the unwary to their fate, but to their doom. If you enjoyed this chilling tale and want to hear more eerie legends, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a scare. And don't forget, there's another story waiting for you on the screen right now. See you in the next one. Unless Maria finds you first.